let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to be introducing Gabo, who's actually an engineer at BoltSource. And he is going to kick off the talk for GraphQL and TypeScript code generation. So as Andrew said, we are going to be giving away stuff in our Slack community. I'm going to be posting a link here in a few minutes that will have a link to our store, and we're going to be giving items away for free there. So, and Gabo, I really hope that's not your backyard, but you never know in Costa Rica. So I will hand it over to you now.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately not. That's fake, but it's nice and sunny. So yeah, I work at BoltSource, and today I want to share with you a few tips on how to streamline TypeScript types generation out of your GraphQL schemas. I have a simple example we're going to use.
That's amazing.
So we've been asked to create a landing page that lists all the characters of the Rick and Morty series. So fortunately, someone created the Rick and Morty API, which is GraphQL based. So that's great because that allows us to leverage all the GraphQL benefits. Those being that it's explorable, auto document, it auto documents, and it has a great tooling for interacting with it. Here I can just get all the episodes and without the IG and episodes. And request only the things that I'm interested in, right? That's the benefits of GraphQL, right? And that allows to build software that's much more performant and remove all the chattiness in our applications. And on the front end, we are going to use TypeScript, which is a JavaScript superset that allows you to type your variables in JavaScript. And I highly recommend you to use this if you haven't yet. I wrote JavaScript for around 9 years without TypeScript, and I was reluctant to change, but once I changed to TypeScript, now I miss it when I don't have it because it gives you a lot of insight and it's just very convenient. The developer experience is much better, and it gives you more confidence because we're catching a lot of errors at build time, not at runtime. So I created a basic React app with the create React app generator using the TypeScript template, and added Apollo to the Apollo client to the application. I'm using hooks, so I need to create an Apollo client and provide that through a React provider. Right? And I'll always use this app provider pattern to put all my providers there.
Hey Gabo, can you increase the font size a little bit?
Sure.
By a little bit, I mean like double it.
Better?
One more time, I think. There we go, that's good.
Okay. And yeah, so that's what's going on there. In here we have the application, we use motion style for creating containers, and then we define the query, right, that we want to run to list the characters, which is this one. You can run it on the graphical interface. So we're defining the query with the GQL function of line, and then we have our React component that is using the use query hook, and we're passing our query to it. That returns us, this is the standard Apollo client query hook that gives us loading error data. If it's loading, we display the loading state. If there's an error, let the user know that there was an error. And once we get the data, we're just stringifying the result for now. That's what we have here. Yeah, so this is what we have. And we have the data, right? We're almost there. However, there's a problem with this setup. If I hover over data, it says 8. So here on my editor, well, I don't have any idea what's inside of this. I'll have to go back to docs, the explorer, and see what's coming in. And that's not ideal. And we are also losing the benefits of TypeScript type checking. So what we want is to have these responses typed so that we can leverage the intelligence and all the benefits of TypeScript. We could define our types, our types here on the application. So type, that's character response. And I'll put it here. You can, when using TypeScript and using this hook, you can specify the response and the arguments that it takes, right? So you could do that, but I mean, it's a lot of work and it doesn't make any sense because we already have the schema. So what we want is to use this existing schema to generate other types. And there's a tool that allows to do that. It's called GraphQL Code Generator. It's pretty good. It has a lot of plugins and extensions, and it allows you to generate code for the different languages and frameworks. It's really complete. The one that we're going to use now is this one, the React Apollo Hooks plugin, and you can play around with this and see the output here. So in order to set that up in our project, what we want to do is first we want to install the Gogen. Right? There are things that we need. We need GraphQL because it's a dependency, and then the CLI. Right? That's the things that we want to do first. I'm just gonna open the terminal here and go ahead and add GraphQL, and we are also gonna need. I already know this, so I'll just jump and copy paste the React Apollo component. Right, so this is what we're gonna need. Install that. I'm installing it because there's a wizard that you can use like npx, right? But for some reason, it's not installing the dependencies. So it's like why that's why. But I'm gonna use this next once it finishes. And yeah, we don't want to create types, duplicate types in that way, but we've done that work. Get this installed. Second. So the problem that we have here is that if I wanted to iterate over the data, I don't know what's inside of this in the response, right? We don't have any suggestions when we try to for our completion that we're getting out of that. So now that we install the dependencies, we can run this command. It will display a command line wizard. It is intelligent enough to know that it's a React app. So that's fine. Enter. The schema, you need to pass the URL of your GraphQL server. And where your operations and fragments are. At the moment, we're using TypeScript, right? Here's my query, so that's what I'm going to use. Here is any folder in any TSX file. You'll look for the GQL things and create TypeScript. And this is asking for additional plugins. We're just going to use these three operations and React Apollo, like the basic ones, and React Apollo, which is how we use. Click enter, and this is going to generate our types on a file. That's the default. Just leave it like that. Do you want to generate an introspection file that creates the JSON file? The mirrors into remote schema. So yeah, that's handy. And the file name Gogen is equal. Let's not change that. What script should you run? Okay, so this is going to create a new entry in the package JSON. Here, another script to run the types generation. I'll just call that gen. There it is. This is the command that it will run. All the configurations here. It'll output to this file using these plugins, and you'll introspect and download the schema as a JSON file. Now we should be able to run jar gen, and it will generate the, let's see what's going on. TypeScript, find matching plugin. Huh. I think this should get installed when you do it. Install this one. Sorry, it seems slow. Okay, let's try again. Yarn again. Let's run jar. I think it adds the dependencies, but it does not install them. Yeah, here. You just need, when you run the init, it adds the dependencies here, but it doesn't install them. That's what's going on. And the React Apollo, you can pass in here also custom configurations, right? We're using the defaults right now. You can see all the options in the web page, but you can create like higher order components if you use that. I use hooks. That's the default. So check out these options. You might find some of those useful. We're good with default for now. And let's see if after that works. What's going on here? It's no documents and Gogen source TSX. Here are my TSX files. I'm not gonna waste time. I have a version that's already working. Not sure what's going on with the dependencies, but it's the same thing. So remove workspace. Yeah, so there's something going on with the dependencies there, but let's continue with the actual demo and how it works. So I have, I did the same thing here. I have the gen command here. Should work. This is weird. Let's see. It's really unexpected token. Oh, there's an error as well. You should read the error messages. Here is the app.
Looks like it's in a generated file.
That's weird, right? Why is?
You know what it might be doing? It might be trying to process the generated file after generating the generated file. You might need to ignore it.
weird thing is this was working fine. Second ago. I'm gonna just delete it for now. Ah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I'll just generation. Now, yeah, that was it. Good catch. Thanks. So you need to ignore that. Generated. I think it's in the you can specify it here probably, or through the command line. Just ignore and source generated, something like that. Let's see. Ignore. Let's continue, but just need to ignore it with the right flag. It might be this or something. So,
usually I just delete it and then run it every single time. So do an RM and then run it again. Just put an RM at the beginning of the Gogen line.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, back to the app. Here, I missed one step because actually I think I can just go back to the previous example. I know what's wrong now. That's better. So we'll lose the. Okay. Seems this one does not have a generated. This different thing. Okay. We will continue here. Good. Remove this, and so that you see the previous step, which was having the this. Which I'll just copy paste the file and be good. All right. So we were here, right? And now we added the ability to generate the GraphQL. I'm gonna go back and define this TSX because that's where we were before it failed. So we're back. The point where we added the Gogen script, and we can now generate our types. It's currently configured to look in TSX files. So we'll use the GQL to generate the types. And jar gen. Okay, there we go. And you can see it, it's creating the type scholars. That's types that are defined in the server in the GraphQL schema, but don't really have a matching type on browsers. So, JavaScript, they do. This tool is intelligent enough to do a right mapping, and then you have types for your queries, for your arguments, and you know, character, different types in your schema. So you get pretty much everything you need, and also by default you'll create Apollo hooks named for each query. So first, I'm going to show you like how you do it without the hook. If you were to just take the types that are generated, you would define here. This is still any, right? So you need to define what it returns and what any arguments that it takes, and the Gogen will create types for your queries based on this name you give it. Right, so you want to pick that name and look for the right type. And this is get characters query. This is the type that it was generated automatically for us, and you can specify here that's the type that you expect, and should also get arguments. Let's see what's the right name for that. I think it's get characters arts. Yes, you can import it. This is what it did. Fix, and okay, it has a different name. The arguments for this the characters arguments. What are the arguments? Query variables. I think this is the one. Okay. And now it says it's of type get characters query or undefined. Undefined because you know what it has. It's an asynchronous call, so it will be undefined until it returns. So let's check here what it looks like. Produce data that gives me now intelligence. That's what we were what we wanted. Now I can work easily here and know what to expect, and work more easily with the data that's given to me with GraphQL. Okay, I want a arrow function here that returns a line, and inside of that, let's see, should get a character here. And that should be typed as well, hopefully. Character dot name. Awesome. And the types, well, I think it's JavaScript 6, yeah. This means this question mark, it's the same as doing check for existence, you know, the same as doing data and data characters. You could do that, and for this particular variable data, you can also just check if it exists. If there's no data, then this is still loading. If there hasn't been any error, and this becomes unnecessary because TypeScript should possibly undefined. Not data. Huh. We should understand that you can always tell it like that. I know for sure this is going to be there because I'm checking here.
I think line 32 needs to be an or.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. That was it. I was wondering why, but yeah, now it works. Now it doesn't complain, but we're checking and returning. Yeah, and now we have types on our application that are based on the GraphQL schema. We can leverage the hooks that are provided in the generated code to do basically the same. It generates a custom hook that you can use instead of all this. You can simply call the hook. Import it. Get this anymore. Okay, now you run it. Should join it. And you can see you're still getting the same intelligence in type information. Okay, let's refresh this. I think I'm using well. All right, here we go. We have the list of the characters. We need a key. That's unique. You can use the character name. And now we are not using these get characters. So it doesn't really have to, like there's no reason now to have this query here. What you can do if you're using the hooks, you can extract this into a GraphQL file, GraphQL, and put your query there. Let's copy and paste the query, right? And get rid of this. And now for this to be generated out of our GraphQL file, we need to change that in the Gogen configuration here, document. So now instead of looking for GraphQL tags, just look for GraphQL files. Remove this. Generate again. Boom. We have it. It's the same result now using different file name and different files. It's I think we're done. We have everything we wanted. We're displaying the list of characters of Rick and Morty, and we now know how to use automatic types from the GraphQL schema and automatic hooks to streamline development. And that's it. That's all how you can quickly get your types ready for your client applications based on the GraphQL schema that was defined. You can also use this on the server. If you want to type your resolvers, there's a plugin for that. TypeScript resolvers, operations. So it works both for the backend and the server and also other languages. that's it. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Gabo. Does anyone have any questions about this? It's a super cool way to save on the amount of code you write. So Giancarlo asks, are you posting the code to GitHub?
Yeah, let's do it right away. GitHub, BoltSource. Create a new one called GraphQL Code Generation. Texas. GraphQL Texas. Public. Oh. Okay. Here it is.
Carlos Rufo asks, were you using TypeScript before GraphQL? How was the transition from REST to GraphQL and so AutoGen TS?
No, I was not using TypeScript before GraphQL. I started to use both at the same time. And yeah, from REST to GraphQL, it's one of those things that when you use it, you don't want to go back. It was, it was a good transition. Now, if I can, I always default to GraphQL. If there are microservices that you call to REST, RPC endpoints, that's fine on the backend, but for front-end applications, that's very, very, very different experience. It's much easier to develop, and it also provides a lot of flexibility and robustness with, it's self-documented and everything in one place, one source of truth. It's very powerful. Yeah, that's what I enjoy the most. The DX definitely on both GraphQL and TypeScript definitely changed the way you write code.
Yeah, any other questions? All right, cool. Thank you so much, Gabo. Awesome job on the talk. It was very informative. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you back here at the next meetup.
Sure, it was great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll let Adam take it from here. Just want to post one more time. If you go to BoltSource.io, you can join our free developer Slack community, and we have lots of swag we're giving away. So we'll be doing that for the rest of the afternoon. So feel free to hop on. And all right, Adam, you ready?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andrew. Thanks, Gabo. And thanks to both Carlos and Nader for joining and talking in their respective areas. And thank you everybody for joining. We're going to be doing this, like I said, on a monthly basis. So at the end of each month, we're going to be hosting one of these, which will have, we've already been able to confirm with like Sonnet, was it SonnetDB, Andrew?
Yeah, FaunaDB, Adam Rakis from Riot Games, and I forget the third, but there's another big one. I forget. Fauna, Adam Rakis, and I thought there was one more, but I can't remember who it is. So.
Yeah, it's from a local company here in Austin. They do something with, it starts with a Y, but I think they do something with like technology in your home and connecting all the different platforms for smart devices. So we look to continue to have really, really solid speakers going forward. And like I said, we're also going to be doing this with React Texas, probably starting here in the next couple of months. So be on the lookout for that. That's also on our website, BoltSource.io. And yeah, that's everything. Thanks again for everyone joining, speaking, and have a safe and happy rest of your day.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See ya.